Check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2. Sister Rose, can you say a prayer for us to begin?
Heavenly Father, we thank you for your grace and mercy. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your kindness towards us. As we gather here in your presence, we ask that you give us the spirit of discernment as we're going to share our thoughts. We ask that you allow us to do it respectfully, and we ask that you bless the viewers who are watching. And it is in your name that we pray. Amen.
Praise God, praise God, praise God. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Everybody's great?
Yeah.
Y'all ain't nervous. What's going on? What's going on?
And the food.
Oh, y'all hungry?
You don't come out the back too often.
Okay. Well, you know, man, it's once in a while we got to do that. So shout out to the host, Sister Shashu. We love you. Get better. We definitely gonna hold it down for you. So this is Late Night Love Ties. We are here again with another episode, ready to have a great conversation. Let's go around the room and say what's up to everybody and have everybody introduce themselves. We can start out with the young lady, Sister Emma.
Hey, everybody. As he just said, my name is Sister Emma.
And I'm Sister Bebe.
I'm Sister Kiki. And this is Sister Rose.
Hello. How you guys doing?
Hungry.
How was prayer night tonight? How do y'all feel about prayer night tonight?
Every night is good.
It was
Always.
good. It was amazing.
Powerful as always.
If you come receiving, you will always.
Yes.
Invite them, man. Invite them. How do people come out and worship with us, man, on our Tuesday nights? Where do they come? What's the address? What's all that good stuff?
4050
Westgate
Westgate Avenue, Suite 102.
101, 102 for sure.
Yes.
Every Tuesday night from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Then if you want to stay and watch the show, y'all can stay and watch the show as well. Every Tuesday at 9 o'clock, we do it live. So shout out to you guys. The conversation that I want to have with y'all tonight, it's not going to be a long conversation, but it's definitely going to be an impactful conversation because it's more so of just, watching the things that which are happening online. And even if you're just a bystander or some people have actually been a part of these moments in time that I'm going to get to. But I always look at it and I'm like, man, what is this going to be like in the future? What am I talking about? There's a lot of, I guess for this particular conversation, I'll use the term baby mama and baby daddy just because it's childish, the things that's happening. Not talking about mothers and fathers. We're talking about baby mamas and baby daddies. The reason I'm going to keep it on that title for those individuals is because we see so much back and forth on the internet. We see women that which record videos of their baby father or baby daddy bringing food for only 2 kids and not all the kids. We see videos of baby daddies of their baby mamas basically like saying like this girl is crazy. Look what she's doing. Look at all these things. Like, and one thing that we know about the internet is that we only do it in a moment. Maybe, that moment hits you and you angry at that moment, you sad at that moment, but once you put it on the internet, it's there forever. So the future I'm talking about is 10 years, 13 years down the line, when this little 1-year-old that y'all was doing all of this about, this little 3-year-old that y'all was doing this all about, that don't know nothing then, when they are able to look back at this in 2035 or in 2038, what are y'all thoughts on how these kids are going to be in this world? And I know Sister Rose being from a psychology major, she can talk about it in that aspect, but I do want to just have like a real conversation amongst y'all. How do y'all feel this is going to impact the future of these children? By them seeing whatever their parents was doing 15 years ago. And now somebody in their class going to come and present the video like, bro, ain't this your mom? You see how, yeah, basically. So how do y'all feel about this? Anybody can go.
So, growing up back in my day, being a baby mama being a baby daddy was actually cool kind of thing because they had songs about it, like Boosie had baby mama.
That's just my baby mom.
Yeah. So it's like it wasn't trending in a bad way. Like obviously it was like bad blood, like it was like, but
to me, like now I don't hear it too often. I feel like more people are being more cautious because of how when I was growing up, everybody was like they had the guys who had baby mamas hated him. Like it was actual bad talk about him. Like I can't stand my baby mamas. She took child support, this and this and that. And then this is where you a lot of deadbeats started to play around on my baby daddy. Don't do nothing for me. He's a deadbeat. And then it's just a lot of tick for tack. So I grew up hearing that a lot of times. I have a few friends that now I'm a baby mama at the end of the day. The realization. No, he said be real, but the realization just hit. I'm a baby mama. But I feel like just like what we learned tonight here in prayer night is when you acknowledge your fault, when you acknowledge where you went wrong, that's where you can start to go right now. So when we have these situations with baby mamas and baby daddies, it's just if you don't want it to be something bad in the future where your kids it's coming back against your kids, acknowledge it right then and there and try to move forward in a positive way so that it doesn't become a negative effect to your child in the future.
Sister Kiki, how you feel about this whole thing?
Yes, before I answer the question, in regards to baby mama and baby daddy, I realized that a lot of times the men are regretful sometimes of the fact that they got this woman pregnant and they probably had a pretty cool relationship, friendship going on. And as soon as she had the baby, she's a different person. So he's probably confused, like, who is this woman? And it brings about like that bitterness and resentment. And I feel like on the baby mama side, for some women, they have bitterness because they're not married to this man that got them pregnant.
Right.
So they are bitter because like you put this baby in me, but you never proposed. Like you never were intentional about us starting a life together. And so I believe that a lot of times they're holding them to the standard of a husband. So like, oh, you're supposed to be buying food for all of my kids, even though not all of them are yours. Like, you know, you're supposed to be paying for this, paying for that. But I think a lot of it is just bitterness, resentment, and just not communicating how to co-parent in a healthy way.
So without forgetting your second point, because I know that's your first point, in that aspect, we have to acknowledge the fact that most babies are accidents. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
Especially out of wedlock. If a person gets pregnant out of wedlock, it was an accident. So most children that which are born in this world were accidents. And we see a lot of mothers and fathers that which were not prepared to be mothers and fathers. And that's the reason I want to have this conversation. For one, we'll definitely get to the point of basically, you know, quote unquote preaching to them. But just right now, just the realization that, fam, everything that y'all putting online about like your relationship and what you hate about him and her, that's your child's mother, that's your child's father. And they are going to see this at some point in time.
And then
And at a young age.
Wait, let it get back. Yeah, exactly. You're right though.
And then with that too, like there has to be some level of accountability because I understand, yes, kids out of wedlock are an accident. At the same time, like if you know sex is going to bring about a child,
1000%.
why are we doing it? You know, and then it causes the child to suffer because now there's that level of like bitterness and resentment, you know, so I just don't have sex, you know, instead of just always saying, oh, like it was an accident, but acknowledge the fact that you shouldn't have been having sex
Right.
to begin with if you weren't trying to have a baby. You know? But then also to answer the question, I do believe that it will negatively impact the kids because then they're going to start having that same resentment and bitterness towards their parents, and they'll start comparing their parents to like
Other
their
people.
friends' parents,
Right.
you know? And also too,
But how is the world, and I'm sorry to keep cutting you off, right? Because you making great points, valid points at that. How is this world finna look though, dog? Like in regards to like, right now we're living in basically the TikTok era, Instagram era, real era. Everything that which we do is documented. What is it gonna look like in 15 years when all of these documentations are being put at the forefront? And now, like, if you have, because what I'm trying to say is these parents are being ratchet with these kids. They naming these kids and putting them through great schools. But once the child gets to an age where he actually understands and start making decisions on his identity, he might tie himself back to that ratchetness and start trying to live up to that standard, which was very low, as opposed to trying to be anything greater. And if they do try to be greater, it's going to be in resentment, where they probably going to cut off them parents and be like, I need to do this on my own. So like, let's speak to it. What's up?
And also, too, really quick to that point, like, not only will they be living in that identity, but as they are trying to progress in life, like if they're trying to get into a great school and that school finds those videos, they're not going to want them in their school. Those are your parents? I don't want those type of parents in this school.
Like, Rose, if they already checking people's credit right now for so many different things, you don't think they're going to be trying to, like, looking at people's social medias?
Yep. Also, I want to say I do not agree with the fact that calling the kids an accident, because you already know what you were getting into. You already know what you were doing.
Yeah.
So you should have thought about it as far as like protecting yourself or something.
We know the fact that, you know, you was having sex and there's a good chance this person's going to get pregnant.
Right.
But I'm not trying to dismiss the children, because obviously they are a blessing. But when I say accident, if you didn't plan for it, unplanned, unexpected, y'all want the chat GBT thing, Gabriel is going to give it to you raw. Right. Unplanned, right? But no, this is just straight cut, straight raw, straight dope. You wasn't planning on getting pregnant. You wasn't planning on getting this girl pregnant. She got pregnant, and now y'all got a jit, and now y'all trying to figure this thing out.
Yeah. Because I've seen being in the classroom, I think not too long ago, I had an incident that occurred in the classroom where I think they were talking about their parents, you know, teasing each other. And then one of the students said, well, I don't care. I don't have any relationship with my father. And then the other one said, oh, now I got something on you. So, and then he started, you know, going off like, what you got on me and stuff like that. He started to get in trouble a lot. And then when I tried to pull him on the side, and he was like, that's exactly what my father used to do. And as a result to that, it's just like, no way, you cannot repeat the same cycle as your father.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, that was his mistake. And then you cannot keep going about like, okay, that's what he used to do. He gets in trouble a lot. He went to prison and stuff like that. And that's what you're expecting. You're supposed to be making a difference.
And think about it. If he didn't have a relationship with his father, who's he getting his information from about his father? Maybe his mother, maybe his grandmama. Somebody's telling him his dad was a failure. And they thinking that they're doing this to deter him from that path. But whole time, they giving him an actual,
Yeah, it's not helping.
But you guys have to understand, a lot of children, a lot of kids usually mimic what they see, what they hear, and
1000%.
what they experience. So, oftentimes when the parents act up or the parents are arguing with each other or trying to be petty toward one another, the child might not react at the moment, but they are registering.
Yes.
So they are trying to not only comparing, they are analyzing everything that the parent do. They taking it to heart. They're telling themselves that everything's happening. My mom and dad is not talking to each other because of me. And when they're trying to make sense of their reality, more often than not, their reality become their norm.
Yes.
And later on, instead of removing themselves from the situation, they are
get comfortable in it. Yeah.
And they become
deeper
the person.
You know what's beautiful about this conversation is that, for one, we have a parent, right? We have a couple parents on the panel, but a parent, a professional in regards to working in the social industry, like in regards to working with children and parents in that adolescent stage. We have somebody that actually works with children directly, and then we have a teacher. So like, this is the perfect panel of people to have this conversation. I can only speak to the sense of, I have taken psychology classes, but just being in church, period, in ministry for over 10 years, I've been able to watch the development of a lot of children and see the impact that their parents have on it, from doing concerts and parents don't come, and then seeing how the child is literally seeking the attention of their parents. So when we talk about these different aspects, I want you guys to know we're not just, pulling this out of a hat. We're speaking from professional standpoints and from experience standpoints. So I love the fact that everybody is touching on these great points. Something else to touch on as we continue to develop this question or develop this conversation is, that back and forth that's happening, we understand that we all that, in your late 20s, 30s, whatever it is that you are on this panel. I'm not gonna put no ages out there, no man. But our parents didn't have no social medias. Our parents wasn't on no internet. We witnessed it firsthand. The conversations, the arguments, the fights, like we seen it in our eyes as kids. And we have grown up from seeing that and see what impact it had on us. Some of us go through therapy. Some of us have just forgotten. You know what I'm saying? Some of us have healed. But if I heal and then I'm 16, high school, and a video resurfaces of my mom and dad going at it, what is that gonna do to me?
I think it's important as a parent, both parents, if both are here, to have a full conversation with your child about what the future is going to look like. It's crazy that we're having this conversation just because just last weekend, me and my brothers were sitting down and we were talking about how growing up with our parents has formed us who we are, and the trauma that we are still holding now, even to today. So it was a conversation about, do we continue to allow who our parents used to be or are currently be form or mold who we are going to be now, or inform our future? Or do we do we just
get off that path?
Yeah, we get off that path and we forgive them even if they haven't apologized, or even sometimes like we just like you said earlier today, some people don't even know the pain that they cause you. Right. Some people are delusional. Yeah. So is it,
or just ignorant to the fact?
Exactly. So and it's something I told my brothers, like, do you want to carry that burden, or do you want to move on with your life? Because it's a choice as an adult now, but even as a young kid, and I'm going to bring up my daughter who is only 3 years old, can already identify the separation between her mom and her dad.
1000%.
At 3 years old, she's already seen the separation. So this is and I've asked, I'm like, we need to let her know this is what the future is, and it had nothing to do with her, and that she doesn't need to pick up any mistakes that we did, so it doesn't affect who she's going to be, because it's a true thing, because I've lived it. And then, just like I just said last week, I've had a conversation with my brothers who are in their 20s. We're having this conversation. So it's important as parents, whether it's a mistake, whatever you planned it, whatever went wrong, even if it's still going right, it's important that you know and understand that you are your first teacher to your child. So what you do in front of them is what they're learning. And if you are not somebody who can take an acceptability and you're just being a bitter person, your child is going to grow up to be bitter. And then you won't understand why your child is bitter. They learned it from you.
Learned behavior.
They learned it from you. So it's one thing that I'm learning as a parent myself is I cannot hold this anger or bitterness or a regret in me, because it's going to reflect on my daughter. Then she's going to think, what happened to me? What did I do wrong?
Now, ultimately, the child has to see you heal.
Yes.
In order to know that they themselves can heal. Right. But if they always see the trauma at the forefront of everything, then they're gonna feel like that's their norm.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And also, what I was gonna say is there's some parents that pass down trauma to their children. They often.
Do you think they do that intentionally?
No.
You don't think so?
No. Some parents, I'm gonna say this. Some parent does it just so they can punish the other parent. But some parent does trying to shield their children from the trauma that they indirectly passing it down. So which is sometimes the cause and effect of their relationship or their great parents' relationship, and not having a great household or role model in their life to make them understand that this is not the norm. This is not how things supposed to be. The way that you yelling at the child father, the way that you guys are accusing each other in front of the child, the way that you abusing each other in front of the child is not a norm.
It's not. It's not.
The
but,
worst-
but there's so many kids that think it is, dog, because you work in school. These kids are bad.
The worst part about
And
it.
I'm sorry, but like you literally just spoke to a thing, and then we used to do it too, like your mama this, your mama that. But fam, they didn't see pictures of my mama. If my mama was twerking, and they was able to come and say, "Gabe, bro, you over here talking," like they could show my mom's butt to the whole class,
That's
and that's what these kids are living right now.
Yep. True.
it is.
Anybody, I don't want to keep pointing at y'all. I want y'all to have like a full conversation. Like let's talk, man.
I don't know. It's difficult to have that conversation. Because
I know it is.
we're not those kind of parents, but it's just
As difficult as it is to speak it, I want you guys to know that it's difficult for people to hear it.
yeah.
So we have to be saying everything that they want to ask. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody's sitting back like, I ain't gonna lie, that's real. That's like I was just talking about this. Like somebody's actually saying that that's gonna be watching this video. So I want you guys to know, say just have a conversation. Even if you make a mistake, don't try to be politically correct and everything. Understand that we are all growing and we're all learning, and we all are gonna make sure we bring it all home.
And those children, the children in this generation, they are very sensitive. They take things to heart, and that's why there's a high rate of suicidal, because they don't know how to cope. And most, I'm sorry to say, most of us African Americans or Caribbean people, we do not believe in therapy. And kudos to the one that believe, because it does help. It does help to, when you're not healed, that you seek help elsewhere, that you take your children to get help. It's not, the therapist not going to share your business because of HIPAA. So it is good to have that conversation and seek help when it's needed.
As opposed to putting it on the internet.
Yes, please.
For instance, I had a student last week after Thanksgiving break. I got all the tea.
No, but she don't say no names though. But and we
got
don't even
all
know
the
what school she
tea.
works at. So talk your talk.
One of the questions I asked them, normally after a break, I ask them, how's the break? What did you guys do? And stuff like that. And then, they be ready to tell you all the tea. Mind you, they do not care. They will have all out the whole class.
You get that too when you go do social runs?
One-on-one. No means they need to know. I'm like, okay, well, go ahead. I said, okay, how's your Thanksgiving break? I didn't have a Thanksgiving break because while we were getting ready to my grandma's house, my mom and my dad got into a fight. He was like, oh yeah, so then they canceled the whole.
And that's pain that they're saying.
It is.
Even though they might say it in a joking way or whatever, but that's pain.
Right. And now I'm looking at his face. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. He's like, it's okay, man. It's just nothing. They do it all the time. So now he's normalizing, like, okay, my parents fight all the time, so it's okay. Now imagine him growing up with the trauma, and then let's just say like when he gets to his 20s, and he's gonna think that it's okay to just go ahead and do the same thing with the person that he intends to date.
It's like he's gonna learn fighting without resolution.
Right.
Just to do it.
Yeah,
all the time.
Just to fight, and then there's no resolution. Like the parents, we're not saying that there's not gonna be disagreements. They're not gonna be that they're not gonna be fights. Those are natural to happen, but.
It's two people, two individuals. Two individuals not going to agree on everything.
Somebody has to be mature enough to go, okay, how do we solve this? Because he was watching, and what could have been so monumental in that moment, and how they did the resolution right then and there in front of him.
And still win.
Right.
He would have still win, because he would have been like, my parents, he would have forgot that they fought and remember that they all sat at the table and had.
So thank you for bringing up that point, that there's always going to be disagreements. There's always going to be arguments. There's always going to be like a little tit for tat, because human nature, 60-year-olds are petty, 10-year-olds are petty.
Yes.
Like there's 4-year-olds, like there's no limitations to this. It's learned behavior, and it's hard to unlearn being petty.
Yeah.
How would you guys speak from a professional standpoint, from an experience standpoint, wherever you are, how would you tell parents to have those disagreements?
Rip the bandage off and just sit down and talk about it
In front of the children?
If the child watch it, the child needs to see the resolution.
So this is what I want to know. Is that okay? Like,
It is
Is it
okay.
okay to always talk about every problem in front of your kids?
No, if they did not see it, you don't need to bring it up. But I believe, and me as a parent, if I fight in front of my child needs to know that the fight did not end at an angry spot. My child needs to know that everything is still okay. Because if you leave that impression on the child and you go fix your problem behind, no, you did it in the light, resolve it in the light. You did it in the back, okay, that's cool. Your child don't know nothing about it. But if you fought in front of your kid, you need to respect. I talked to my daughter, she's 3 years old. Y'all have a conversation where you'll think that she's 10. I talk to her and I talk to her in a respectable manner. If I do something wrong in front of her, she's gonna tell me I did something wrong in front of her, because I give her that respect. Respect your kid as a human, as a person who has a mind that understands what's going on. So if you do wrong in front of them, fix the wrong in front of them. If they don't know, that's cool. But I truly believe
with that, that's that's the rainbow way to look at it. There are some discussions and some disagreements that I feel like, even though it happened in front of the kid initially, that you can't continue this back and forth bickering in front of that child. Maybe after you guys go and where, and I'm asking you guys, where should it happen? But after it's all resolved, then you come back in front of your kids and like show each other like, hey, mommy loves daddy, daddy loves mommy. Like, there's no problem. But sometimes adults have whatever. But I'm talking about like when you in the midst of like, bro, you just tried me, and baby girl in the back seat. Do I get this off my chest right now, or do we get home?
that's an opportunity.
Wait, let her go. Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna take an example because I remember my son was 2 at the time, and me and my ex-husband, we had a heated argument. So heated that he was in the back crying, and I understand that I couldn't lose my temper at that time. So I dropped him off by my friend, and we're like, I'm gonna break everything in the house because
hey, raw and uncut, man. Late night love time. Get to it.
If I didn't do that, that same situation would have repeat over and over again. So when we come to a heated argument, he always look back like, okay, where is he? Because I took that opportunity to show him, no, don't argue in front of my child, because those image, even the child don't talk or the kid cannot understand, that picture gonna remain forever. They're gonna
remember,
see
like,
that.
we don't remember our childhood, but we remember the little key events, and a lot of those little key events be like them arguments with our parents for real.
And from that experience, I'm like, do not argue in front of your children, no matter how deep the argument, or no matter how hurtful it is. Because that one time, that temper was lost, that's when I make my decision to leave.
And that's, unfortunately, even if that was your one time doing this, your jit will never forget that.
Yes.
That one time you slapped daddy. That one time that you hit mommy. That one time that you made mommy cry, or you made dad leave and he ain't come back for 2 days. The jit don't forget that.
Yes.
Especially when you saying like jit back there crying. He don't know how to tell y'all stop. But that's his way of like, give me the attention.
Yeah.
Kiki, Rose, how y'all feel?
Yeah, I agree that when an argument is happening, when there's a moment where one of them tries each other, I don't believe that it should be handled in front of the child, because I've learned through working with kids that they learn how to react based on how their parents react. And so if they are faced with conflict and then they like lash out, a lot of times it's learned behavior. So it's important that both parents, like, you guys got to have that privately, and then, as you said, come together. Right now, if y'all gotta fight physically or do what y'all gotta do, get some boxing gloves, handle that. Yeah, exactly. Handle that. But then I think also too, like, when you come back with your child, like, be transparent with them about what happened and how did you guys resolve it, so that they learn, okay, mommy and daddy had a big disagreement, they tried each other, but look at how they fixed it, so now I know what to do moving forward.
Conflict resolution, Rose. How you feel about conflict resolution?
I agree with Sister Kiki. Also, I had a friend who got into it. Y'all listen.
We're gonna start asking for names.
A heated argument, okay, with her husband. I think he did it on purpose. He's basically using the child against the mother. And I do not like
Weaponized,
that.
and that's real. Mothers and fathers be weaponizing these kids.
That's exactly what he did. And he
That's
tried to
what
do it again.
That's what we're gonna get to the next
He
conversation.
tried
Go
to do
ahead.
it again.
That's when you.
So, now if you're trying to talk to me, why do I have to grab my child to be in the background? She don't have to witness what we got going on. So whatever we need to resolve, she needs to be out of the picture. So they, I guess, trying to sort things out, and then it got hit. She was in the back seat. She witnessed everything. Then she started kicking the chair and started yelling.
Attention,
so that's
attention.
like, like stop. So like she witnessed the whole thing. And then that's when the mom was like, can you just stop? Because I don't want her. I mean, she's already in the car. She witnessed everything. So at this point, there's no, I don't want her to witness, the whole scene. So she tried to de-escalate the whole thing by getting out of the car. He proceeded by following her outside of the car. Then she was still in the car screaming at this point, just cut it. She don't need to see all that. And second time, he came right back again to do the same thing. That's when she stepped down. She was like, I'm not doing this. If you're trying to talk to me, I'm grown. You don't have to grab my daughter to go to the car to witness the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because you're doing it. You're weaponizing my child against me.
So talking about the weaponizing children, this is an old story, but I think it happened earlier this year. There's a basketball player, PJ Washington. I don't know if y'all familiar with the story. He has a baby mom. Right? And like I said, we're not ones to call people baby mama, baby daddies, but in these childish manners, that's the only people that get these titles, baby mama, baby daddy. And they had a baby mama, BD, BM type of situation. So PJ Washington went to go pick up his child because, they separated and he has whatever weekends or whatever days. So he went for his scheduled days. Obviously, this is new. As you said, like your child has learned that mommy and daddy's not living together right now. The child is crying. The father comes and gets the child, but the jit's crying. Like, he wants his mom. But if we know anything about kids, they just crying right now because of this separation that's happening. They don't really understand. Even though this is daddy, but they don't really understand what's going on. Why are we leaving the house? I was just playing my game, whatever the case may be. And she proceeded to, she had somebody with a recording, following him to the car, and, calling him out of his name, like, Lee, you see the baby crying, you making him cry. And he's like, man, it's whatever. And he's being very polite, in all honesty, with all due respect. He's not trying to go back and forth with it. And I don't know what happened prior to this event, but I'm talking about in that particular video, he ain't really going back and forth with it. He just going to the car. And then boom, gets in the car, puts Jit in the car, he gets in the front seat. But he came with his now new girlfriend. And now the new girlfriend is going at it with the baby mama outside of the window, and those type of things. You're weaponizing the child. In that case, she, you just talked about the man doing it. I'm just saying, she was saying, oh, you see how he's crying? You making him cry, But the whole time, dang well, the only reason Jit crying is because of this brief separation. But once we get to the house and he's comfortable with daddy, he's going to be good. But that weaponization that people do with their children, whether it's for child support, whether it's for anything, how dangerous is that?
So, hear me out. If I was him and I come to pick up my child and my child is not in a mood or is crying, I'm not going to pick up my child.
No, I'm taking Jit.
The only reason why is because
she's going to use that against him. Say, you see, you ain't even come pick up your Jit on the days you're supposed to. It's a lose-lose situation, so I'm taking my Jit.
Situation regardless, but it's to pick up a child and where they're angry or where they're crying and you don't even know why the kid is crying, but it's just, I rather that child is not happy right now. You need to calm the child down. When the child has calmed down, then call me, come pick up my child. But I'm not going to be picking up. It's like I'm picking up a mess from you. Why should I pick up a mess from you? What happened? Whatever situation, this kid was crying before I got here. Why are you going to give me a kid that's crying? To me, I wouldn't pick up the kid that's no.
Or maybe it's because if mom wasn't walking behind and yelling and screaming, maybe the kids would have come down already.
Yes,
You would have realized I'm with daddy.
right. That's what I'm saying. It's just like remove. I would have just removed myself completely from this.
Then you let her win and the jit loses.
Yeah, I don't agree with that because I can understand if you're dropping your child off to a stranger, but this is their parent, and I believe that they know their child well enough, like Gabe was saying, that you're crying in this moment, but once we get in the house, you're fine. So I believe that because that's their parent, they'll be fine.
He said you came back and it's the same situation again, right?
No, I'm only talking about one particular situation.
Oh, I thought you said he came back with his girlfriend.
No, she was in the car.
Oh, she was
when he
in the
got to the
car.
car, put Jit in the back seat, he got in the front seat, and now.
A whole bad scene, just a whole bad negative situation.
And I guess he knew that this was going to happen. And obviously, the fact that there was somebody already recording prior to him knocking on the door, they knew that was about to happen too. Yeah, so it's a lose-lose, and the Jit is going to see this video in 15 years when they're like 17. A Jit was still like a little 2-year-old, if that. 15 years at 17, not even. Like, just be aware now at 12.
Well,
See this in 10 years and looking like, damn, why mommy doing all that? Why daddy doing all that?
it's crazy because the weaponize of the kids it's on a different level nowadays, especially if there's other siblings or there's other people in the relationship. There's all other counterpart. How they say it, other
Like
partners.
husband or
Yes.
wife of the person.
So it's really hard to not looking at it in that lens because when the children, let's say, sometimes they put the siblings at odd if they have different fathers.
Yeah.
When they put them against each other, you see, your daddy didn't do this. Now my daddy is doing that.
Because if they doing it in school, you can only imagine what they do in the room.
Yes, and then it's hard. It's heartbroken.
And then also too, in regards to weaponizing, as the child gets older, they learn how to manipulate. They learn how to finesse.
They know mommy not gonna want this, but daddy might.
Exactly. So they learn that, and then it just becomes a repeated cycle until it gets broken.
My kids will tell me, "Don't call my dad, call my mom."
Yeah.
Don't call my mom, call my dad.
Because they know who they can finesse.
Who's gonna let them get away with it?
And unfortunately, to look at it from that perspective, if I only have 2 days with my kid, it's gonna be hard for me to be the disciplinarian.
Yeah.
Because you already only got 2 days with me. Now you're gonna hate the little 2 days. You know what I'm saying? So if it's a father, because typically it's the father that has like least custody, and he only has the Jit on weekends, he can't be a disciplinarian. He can by nature, but if all the stuff that he's trying to correct is learned at home and she has him 5 days of the week, or he has them 5 days a week in the vice versa situation, it's going to be a difficult thing for you to do. So typically that's going to be the good cop. Typically that's going to be the one that's going to just let everything slide and just buy all the gifts and just, you know what I'm saying? Because I have to at least keep this connection until I can actually have real conversations with the child. So that's unfortunate.
I always say that I do not mind my child hate me now than later, because a lot of children, they will say, why my parent didn't correct me when I was young,
That's true.
then when I got older.
That's true.
So be the bad parent now. Let them see you in the bad light now, because 2, 3 years down, 5, 6 years, 7, 10 years
When
down the
maturity
line,
kicks
when
in.
they have enough maturity, they're gonna realize that yes, dad was doing what was best for me at the time. Why did my mom let me do all those things
I
when
agree.
dad was trying to correct me?
It's just difficult from the perspective I was saying. If I only got 2 days with Jit or 2 days every other week, it's hard for me to just do that because now Jit's not even going to want to come. But I understand exactly what you're saying. I totally agree. I
think it's in co-parenting. That means even if you have the child Monday through Friday, if that child is misbehaving on a Tuesday, it's okay to say, do you want me to call your dad?
Yes, I love that.
Do you want me to call your dad? Because you guys are co-parenting, not
Right.
co-parenting till they're 18 legally, right? So that means, like, with my daughter, I'll tell her all the she'll be like, I want to go to my dad's house. Yeah, call him, come get you. I would take the break. But if you're misbehaving, I tell you, you want me to call your dad? He is still disciplinary, even if he's outside of the house, because that is his position.
Right.
So as parents, we need to understand our positions. We need to understand our roles. And even if you guys are separated, that does not mean the child has to be separated.
Amen.
From the situation or whatever, however the situation is. So still involved. Kid is crying. You don't know how to console your kid. Yes, it's your day, but you know who knows how to console kids
Mom,
better?
yeah.
Mom. Call mom in.
Yeah, yeah.
Your kid is misbehaving. Yes, mom, it's your day, but you're not Superman. Call dad in. They will listen to dad and they will listen to mom, and it will help them mature better in life and know and not have to have that. You don't really draw a physical separation line.
Yeah.
Yes, it's there, but the line doesn't have to be
It can
drawn.
be blurred at times.
Exactly, it could be blurred. So I think it's important that although yes, you are co-parenting for 18 years, as the world say legally. That does not mean on days, this day, that day, that day. It is your child 24/7. So regardless of who has the child, whoever can be the parent the child needs in that moment is what needs to be that needs to happen. Grow up.
Yes.
I'm not gonna
So-
tell y'all again. Grow up.
Even with that particular sentence right there, when we go back to the initial conversation that we had about the unprepared, unplanned accident jit, y'all was not prepared for one, and y'all didn't even know, like, okay, hey, we not gonna give our kids no cell phones until they 5. Like you don't have these conversations because now you basically I'm about to be a mom. I'm about to be a dad. I got to get my money up. I got to get an apartment. Like I'm about to get kicked out. Like, so you're doing everything from a trauma standpoint and like, a rushed. So when you do hopefully get to a point where, parenting slows down and the baby's like, able to go, when you can actually start setting some ground rules, even if you guys are not together, I truly feel like whatever you guys decide on has to be mutual. Where there's no like, I can be on the game all day at mommy house, but I gotta be doing my homework at dad house. Like there has to be whatever it is because, and you know what's crazy? I recently heard about this. There are couples that which are separated or divorced, and how do I say this? Whatever the family home is, the jits stay there. The parents leave. So like mommy goes to their separate apartment on the weekends or whatever days that are not for them or whatever week is not for them. And then dad comes into their house and then they separate in that manner. So it gives like, structure because it just raised in one house. And I never heard this. Obviously this was Blondes that's doing this, but it was like, yo, that's not a bad idea.
It's not.
Obviously, separation is unfortunate. We don't even want to talk that. If you guys are having sex with each other, if you guys see love in each other, I pray that you guys are able to get past whatever you going through and be able to put love first in order to make this thing work. Unfortunately, that's not always the case, and some things happen and separation occurs. I feel like that's one of the best ways to at least keep, a little bit of structure. But obviously, that's a financial burden because I got to go get 2 different apartments, so it's not easy. But hearing that was like, that's not a bad way of raising your jit, even from a separated standpoint. It's not cost efficient, but it's very good structure wise for that child.
It's kind of like you don't how they say it. There's a term for it. It's you kind of like don't remove you didn't break the pattern of the child.
Right.
You didn't remove the child.
Same school, same bus stop, same friends.
Yes. Everything remained the same for the child.
Yeah.
Like you didn't disturb their
You didn't disrupt it in any. I love that. Yeah, when I heard that, I was like, you know what? That's not. I never heard that. And I just heard about this like a couple months ago. So this is brand new to me. So people watching this like, bro, that's how I was raised. Like, bro, I had no idea that this is a thing.
I think that's definitely a great idea. And I think a lot of couples that are separated, I don't think that they realize that you can make co-parenting what you both want it to be. So like, I remember like relationship goals was like so popular, and it still might be popular, but people are looking at other couples as their relationship goals, when in reality, it's 2 people coming together with a common goal, and you guys are committing to that goal together, no matter how other people feel
No
about it.
selfishness, no like, we
regardless, regardless of of what beef you guys got, you guys have a common goal and you guys are going to make sure that it happens and hold each other accountable, have those conversations and communicate to make that goal what it needs to be.
And to go back to the initial point that I made, because that just came, I'm gonna get, I love to just go wherever my mind takes me. But to get back about just keeping the same principles in both households, how important is that?
It's important that the households mirror each other.
That's the word. Love it.
It's important that
that might be the title of this show, mirroring households. Like, I love that.
It's important that because I don't know about, to me, I think that's an illusion in and out of the house, because at the end of the day, it's still separation. But I guess, I don't know. I have to open my heart to that a little bit more. But
yeah, it's not Haitian. This ain't Haitian at all. 'Cause I can literally see myself like, bro, I'm not leaving, fam. Like,
don't confuse the child either. If you're saying you're not together, you have to be firm on that until you come into a resolution that we're going to get back together. Do not confuse your child, because they cannot see mommy and daddy lovey-dovey and why you're not living together.
So just stay right there, right? Who's confused in there? Is it the jit or is it the parents?
It's the parents.
The parents confused.
Because if you are still like, if this is your baby mama, baby daddy, but y'all still have sex, bro, y'all still together. This is why people don't be trying to date the baby mamas and baby daddies, because y'all relationship isn't over. Y'all just mad at each other. Y'all just can't look at each other right now, but the lust is still there. An obvious connection is still there. And there's obviously love there. So like, in that manner, like, if y'all still, quote unquote hunching, whatever we're going to say on Late Night Love Ties, having sex, period. Like, bro, work this thing out, dog. Work it out, bro.
Y'all not over.
Sometimes when you with the child, trust me, sometimes it's over. But
you confusing it. You stuttering. You trying to stutter to make this confusion standpoint. God is not an author of confusion. And if you guys are putting confusion upon these children, the confusion comes from the top.
Yes, it's come from the parents, but that's what I'm saying. Some parents, they are over. Their relationship are over.
But
once they come around
each other.
Not even each other.
But that's what I'm talking about.
Over. Like, there's some things that remind you, like,
of course.
And then you
familiar,
like the guy financing you, and then you're like,
the little things that trigger you.
Maybe that one time. That's why I said, do not confuse yourself, and that ending up confuse the child, because they don't know if mommy and daddy really together or not. And hearing,
she still said the same thing. She still said the same thing. Once y'all come around each other, y'all can't control yourselves. Like, that means that there's still love there. So before we end out this conversation, let's just talk to the parents for a little bit, right? If there's still a connection, like, if there's still something that y'all could work on, if the house is probably broken, but if the foundation is still there, like, y'all can rebuild. Maybe that house was broken down for a reason. Maybe it wasn't set up the right way. Maybe y'all wasn't in the best position when y'all got together. Like, maybe y'all didn't have everything in, like, the maturity levels definitely wasn't there. But if it's there now, and both of y'all are single, or both of y'all are just out here dating everybody in the world, but you can't find what you want because you guys still want each other, I personally feel like that's something that you need to go back and have a conversation, like a real conversation, not just lust.
yes.
Because that's just going to be like, man, we got divorced. How you got pregnant again? Y'all were divorced, but that's what I'm saying. So, like, listen, man, I think that people make a lot of impulsive decisions, a lot of emotional decisions, and that's okay. But have the maturity to, at a later date, be like, you know what? That was impulsive. That was immature. But you the best thing that I've ever had in my life, and I need you back in my life. I met a couple. I was on a date. We was in Jacksonville at some hibachi spot. And I love this conversation. That's why I'm always going to bring it up, because he made my point for me, right? Because I don't really like titles. I hate titles, right? Once you get a boyfriend, girlfriend, females start acting different. The guys start acting different. Like, now there's all these obligations. Like, fam, we friends, we get married, we still friends, whatever the case may be, right? That I digress. So It's not confusion. What you know don't need to be understood. Like what's understood don't need to be explained. Listen, this guy, it was a white guy and a white woman. We sitting down, and mind you, they were saying how they were married and they got divorced. Done, left each other. And now they've become best friends and they're back together, but they just not getting married. And I remember saying it to him, like to the white guy. I looked at him, he was an older gentleman. I was like, man, it's the titles. And he looked at me and was like, bro. So this is not a race thing. I think it's probably just a man and woman, just a disconnect in regards to what we, our expectations are the same, but just we see it in another light. But all that takes is communication and conversations. But the fact that a divorced couple, and I'm sure that many other people have gone through this, they get divorced, but then they become best friends after the divorce. What did that mean? The weight of the expectations of that title. Not telling people to just live without getting married, but remain the same even with the title, I think is important. So y'all got love for each other. Make it work, man. Like, work on it. Like, not just for the kids, but if there's a spark every time y'all come around each other, that's not just for the kids. Like, you're not just gonna be finessing people, telling people, oh, I'm only with him because of the kids. Like, nah, every time y'all together, y'all can't keep your hands off each other. Y'all waiting on each just to go to sleep. Y'all joking with each other. Y'all still sending each other reels on Instagram and TikTok, and y'all not together. Y'all doing everything that y'all would do if y'all were together, except being together. Like, fam, stop lying to yourself and go back and get your girlfriend. Go back and get your wife. Go back and get your husband. Like, go back and get your man. Like, yeah, that's my thoughts. That's my thoughts. There's a lot of people out here that's divorced that they not really divorced. It's the weight of the titles, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. That title is heavy, dog. People ain't ready for them titles, dog.
Go back to Adam and Eve.
I digress.
There was no title. It was my wife. Won't you sleep together?
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm all about having a marriage in the church without the certificate that they give you at the courthouse. But, I digress. Like, this is Gabriel. This is Gabriel. This is Gabriel. That's another conversation. Like, that's a can of words. I'm not opposed to having that. I'm not opposed to having that conversation, but I'm just saying that's a can of words. I don't know if y'all want to open it.
I understand it, but at the same time, I'm like, I need the certificate in a sense because if something happened to you, I can step in legally.
What you mean legally?
Because
legally, if you're in that hospital bed and they ain't deem you as your wife, I can't do nothing.
But you can actually sign a power of attorney prior to going there.
So
but you have to give me the power.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a paper.
But that's what I'm saying. That's mean the moment
we can sign a power of attorney. You can have it at the house.
No.
If y'all just want a power of attorney, so y'all can say, yeah, pull the plug on him. That's all y'all want. Y'all want the power to say, yeah, pull the plug. Like, because this medical specialist doesn't know what to do. He needs your permission to do this. Like, fam. No, yeah, he needs a heart. Give him a heart. Like, no, don't give him no heart.
Nah.
Like, no, what y'all want?
I need the title.
Nah,
I was gonna be walking around with
power of attorney. Next thing you know, put DNR on my chest. Like, nah, fam. Like, no, don't.
But that's the thing. If I'm your POA, I can put DNR.
Exactly. So I don't want to give you that kind of power. Because if I don't want to be DNR, how you gonna just deem that?
It's worse.
Do not resuscitate who?
But
that wasn't my plans.
That's the thing. If I'm your wife, I might not be able to do that unless you can talk. But if I'm your power of attorney, I can do it.
Exactly.
So my power of attorney is higher than being your wife.
And I'm okay with that. If that's all you wanted.
But if you're saying that
but we're not living a life in the hospital. Those situations may occur. Hopefully, God willing, it doesn't. But that's a one-time thing that we might have to have this particular, like, who's this wife? Like, nah, man. Like, no. My mama go come talk for me then. She gonna be my power attorney.
I just want to reach out to
y'all, because y'all have to understand what a power of attorney is. Like, this is a one-time thing, fam. Y'all, like, that's all you want. You want to get married just so you could make the decisions on my life when I'm in the hospital. To death do its part. Like,
everywhere.
Why would that be the first?
Everywhere that I can
example.
That I can make decision for you everywhere.
Y'all losing this argument. That's y'all first example is the POA. It's crazy.
Yes, because that's what. Okay, legally that's really what the paper means. That I can
Make decisions
say,
on my account,
yes,
whether I'm there or not.
like, yes, I can go to the bank.
On my
yes,
behalf, I'm sorry.
I'm your husband. I have legal access to this. If something happened, the house, I have legal access. But if we just
But there's ways to go around that. Like, that's LLCs that you can actually make together.
Give me the favor.
I'm just telling y'all, like, it's a can of worms that I can actually open. Like, there's legality, like, there's ways that you can go about this in a legal way.
I understand what you're saying. Yes.
Talk about it. Put us on.
Yeah, no, we're gonna do that on another show, man. On another show. Tonight we just wanted to talk about the toxic parents that's sliding this toxicity down the chain and making toxic kids. And now all these little toxic kids are bad mouthing other kids, beating up other kids, being straight crash outs all day long, and you getting mad at your jit for being what you raised them to be. Telling y'all don't see it now because, you know, you in the moment, impulsive, emotions are high, and you feel like my best therapy is going on Instagram and talking bad about my child's father or bad about my child's mother. They gonna see this, dog. Because if I was able to go and look at my dad or my mom's social media today, I promise you I would. I'd spend a whole night just like, bro, what my mama doing in 1953? Like, what was my mama doing in 1982? So you can only imagine. You're just gonna be looking for your old Facebook, your MySpace. They're gonna be looking for everything that you ever had on social media because they just want to know you.
Even if they don't look for it, somebody
Gonna pop out.
To them, yeah.
Yeah,
somebody
like
that they're beefing with. You see, this is
so.
online.
Fam, like y'all think y'all can make these pages private? You'll just know all your passwords too. So anyway, that was a little conversation I wanted to have for the night, man. Anybody got any last final thoughts? Gems of the night. I guess we can start out with Sister Rose. Gems of the night. I'm glad that you did not give any specifics in regards to your friends' names, the students' names, the student numbers, and all that stuff. Yeah, I'm glad that you respected their privacy and the confidentiality agreement that you signed. So, with that being said, gem of the night, man.
My gem for the night is that parent, whenever you get into a disagreement with your partner, just do not involve the child. Leave the child out of the mess. They don't need to see it. They don't need to know. That's it.
Respect.
I would say it's a quote that I heard a couple years ago that says that trauma isn't your responsibility, but healing is. And so many times, like, we play victim to the fact that we went through trauma, but you're 30 now, you're 35 now, or you're 20 now. Like, you have to be able to take responsibility and say, you know what? Yes, I went through this, but this is what I need to do moving forward in order to heal so that I can stop putting things under the rug, because then when I get triggered and I crash out, like, that's my fault. That's not my parents' fault.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
My
good.
gem of the night is for the parents. When you have those toxic relationship, always remember in the back of your head that your toxic traits going to pass down to your children. What you do with those traits toward your children make the difference in your child or children's future. So always be considerate on how you treat your children. When you angry at daddy, that anger doesn't go toward your child.
To the parents, don't take offense because I'm a parent, but a lot of us need to grow up. And it's important that you do grow up soon enough before your child grows up, before you resenting you. All those rocks you were throwing at whichever parent, your child is going to grow up catching those rocks and then starts throwing them back. So I think it's very important. Yes, it's cool to be the victim, go through your emotions, cry through it, whatever it is. But for the sake of the next generation that you have birthed, it is important that you grow up, because if not, you will reap what you sow.
My gem of the night. This is Late Night Love Ties. We speak from a Christian perspective, and we are in full awareness And not everybody that watches this is a Christian, and not everybody that go to church is Christian. So I'm gonna just say this, right? Condoms slip off, condoms break. You in a relationship with somebody toxic that you don't see as a wife or a husband, and y'all having regular sex, she's gonna be a toxic mom, she's gonna be a toxic father. If you are able to establish these points early and you see that I do not see myself with this person in 10 years, you need to start questioning who you having sex with. Hippie, that's it. Who prayed to start? There we go. Big and say a prayer for us to get up out of here. Shaking your head for what? Shaking your head for what? Like, no, don't pick me. Like, yeah, no, that means pick you. That.
Let's close our eyes, bow our heads. Father God, we thank you for allowing us to have discussion that each of us receive and also share that to our viewers, that being in relationship and not knowing where the start or the end and the middle, but we have to acknowledge that you are the head, you are the end, you are the beginning, you are the middle. And with you, with your words, with the steps that you have given us, that we are continue to walk in the path and the light. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen. God bless y'all, family.
All right.